What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rich. So we got the release of the new iPhone 17s right around the corner, and I honestly wanted to make an update review on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This one's a little special to me because I bought it right after graduating college back in 2023. Coming from an iPhone 14 and two-timing like the S23 Ultra, moving to the 15 Pro Max was a pretty big jump. This was the first iPhone to come out with USB-C, oh thank God. It introduced a titanium frame to reduce weight and balance and brought in the action button. I mapped mine to, open up the camera, which has been surprisingly useful. You can just like whip it out real quick and use it, snap a quick flick, And of course the triple pro camera setup on this is really good. I also like this triple camera setup a lot too. I'm definitely be checking out the iPhone 17s later, but I'm not sure if I like that, camera bar, camera island, what do they call it, with that little square thing on the back. This one just looks more complete, more, premium to me, and I do want to talk about more in this video. And I'll tell you guys why I think it's one of the most better valued iPhones right now. But yeah, if you guys been following the channel real quick, I moved into a new apartment. It's pretty good. I'm just watching some Avatar right now, finishing up some work, and take a look. It's pretty nice here so far. Got this whole, living room all decked out. So let me know if you guys want to see like an apartment tour or something. I like this a lot. Show you guys kind of like my desk setup as well. We got like a standing desk and everything here too. So hey, enough jibber jabber, let's get right into it. So yeah, now if you guys remember back then when the 15 Pro Max came out, it definitely had its fair share of overheating. At launch, the 15 Pro Max was running hot due to a mix of iOS 17 software bugs, initial data transfer, and certain third-party apps like Instagram and all those just using a lot of RAM, pushing the battery to its max, and just overall making the phone really hot. Apple eventually patched these things with the updates, and ever since then I found it to be just fine. I mean, that said, compared to other phones I've used, and I use quite a lot, this one does seem to heat up quite quickly than usual and stays warm for longer periods of time. I don't know, maybe it's just this model I got in particular, or I've asked a couple other people and my friends also have a 15 Pro Max as well, and they said the same thing too. So maybe this model, just generation's kind of cooked that year. My only gripe with it from a hardware standpoint, maybe a vapor chamber would have helped. I'm sure you guys heard a lot about that in the phone space with the Samsung phones having it, as well as the new 17s. For anyone that doesn't know what a vapor chamber is, it's pretty simple. Basically like a heat spreader. It takes concentrated heat and distributes it evenly across the surface so it can cool it more efficiently. Even then too, I think if Apple included a vapor chamber on this, it would have made a huge difference because the titanium and glass on the back and all that isn't as thermally conductive, so the extra cooling might have been wasted. And speaking about titanium, when Apple launched this, I mean, they made it sound like a whole phone was titanium. In reality, it was just the outside frame and just a little bit of titanium sprinkled in here and there. You could watch more videos on where exactly it's at, but the way they marketed it was way more dramatic than what you actually got. I mean, still, titanium is a cool word. It kind of makes me think of David Guetta's song, I am titanium. or vibranium, and Captain America's shield or something like that. So it was funny, they were rolling that out for the past 2 years, and the iPhone 17s were back on aluminum now, which, I don't know, it's beyond me. Hopefully those fans don't bend as easily as the titanium one, so history does repeat itself, I guess. I mean, all in all, the titanium frame did make a difference in my opinion. The phone felt lighter and better balanced, probably the most balanced of all the iPhones I've ever tried compared to the previous Pro Max models. And honestly, it was the first iPhone I enjoyed using it without a case, because the grip was nice, the corners were really smooth, and the glass back felt really solid. I did drop this on the hardwood a few times and stayed surprisingly strong. No cracks, doesn't really scratch that easily. It just shows how well Apple has refined their durability over time. And the IP68 water and dust resistant rating has also been clutch. I've used it in the shower for music and had gotten completely wet, and it's been totally fine. I mean, there was times I picked it up with soaking wet hands, and sometimes, I don't really recommend this, but I'll just run it under a sink to clean it up from dirt, oil, grease, and all that, whatever. The only real complaint I had was probably just the weight. I mean, this phone does come in at 221 grams, so for everyday use, it's fine, but during long FaceTime calls, I can definitely say it's straining my wrist after a while. And speakers are phenomenal. I mean, Apple iPhones and even just their MacBooks have naturally good sounding speakers. It's really balanced, loud, and no distortion, even at high volumes. It's loud enough to fill like a medium-sized bedroom without needing like a Bluetooth speaker, which is something I found myself doing a lot. And I'll be putting this in my pocket to play music out of, so I always have it playing. No need for AirPods or headphones or anything like that sometimes, just really quick. The natural titanium finish, or the gray iPhone is still one of my favorite colors Apple has ever released. It's not gonna be as colorful as like the lavenders or the red iPhones, which I kind of miss. Still, however, this finish hardly shows any fingerprints. It looks premium and really nails that, high-end feel. The display is excellent too. I mean, you get the 6.7-inch 120Hz OLED screen with this always-on display at a resolution of 1290 by 2796. It's solid, it's great, it's something that you would expect from Apple. Technically a Samsung display though. The brightness hits up to 2000 nits outdoors when the sun or something shining right at it. 1600 nits for HDR content and a typical 1000 nits indoors. So in other words, it's plenty bright in almost any situation. No need to like hover this phone over the sun and all that to see it. Just had no trouble seeing it. HDR content looks fantastic here too, and the dynamic island blends really well into iOS now. It's smooth, sharp, and feels like it belongs in the UI. Going back to like an iPhone 16e or anything below that too, it feels like that notch is just horrendous. I can't get past it anymore. With this dynamic island, it just feels really, really good. It's really interactive too. You can use it for songs. Let's slide it right up in there. You can play, pause, all that. It's pretty magical to me. Hats off to the UX design team and all that. I had to put in a lot of work. Performance-wise, the A17 Pro chipset built on the 3nm process is still going strong. I mean, Geekbench scores hold up against its peers, and after 2 years, I haven't noticed any slowdowns, hiccups, or lag spikes. Whether I'm FaceTiming, scrolling social media, watching YouTube, Netflix, or yada yada, all those media consumption stuff, and even playing heavier games like War Thunder and Asphalt 9, the phone just handles it without any issue. And with the new iOS 26 update, things feel mostly stable. Now, I'll admit, when iOS 26 first dropped, I mean the beta, I wasn't really a fan of it. I compared it to Windows Vista, and honestly a lot of people did too, but I guess it's kind of grown on me. I kind of like the new lock screen animations, redesigned photo app with its collapsible sections and liquid glass effect on overlays makes it look more elegant, more like you're getting more screen real estate, especially when I'm on Safari or Google Chrome. You can see more of things beneath the search bar, this glassy look on it. The only thing I don't like is how the app corner sometimes has like these white outlines, which I think is kind of distracting. I think the app icons, they went a little too hard on them. Seems like there's like a white glow or something on it. So that's just the only thing I don't like. But in terms of stability, it's been relatively stable so far. Does it seem as complete as iOS 18 before? At this current moment, no. But just given iPhone's track record, I'd probably give it like another month or two and see how things would balance out. But I haven't felt any apps crash or anything like that. FaceTime is okay, social media, Gmail, all that is all fine. On the battery side, Apple introduced the adaptive power mode in iOS 26, which uses AI to make subtle adjustments, dimming brightness or slowing tasks down to extend this battery usage. I'd probably think of this as a smarter version of low power mode. So sometimes I'll have this on, and I notice this to increase the battery life just a little bit longer, which is good. It's still solid. I can still get about a day and a half or roughly 10 to 13 hours of on-screen time with this phone. Battery life is around 90% health after 2 years, and charging is still capped at around 25 watts of PD, but I can still go from 0 to 50% in around 40 minutes, which is pretty decent for charging. As for the cameras, it's still one of this phone's strongest points. The 48 megapixel lens does most of the heavy lifting, and shots come out sharp, natural, and well balanced. Colors pop, contrast is strong, and you don't really need to mess with too much of the settings. The upgraded ultra wide is slightly larger, which helps for macro shots. Anyone who likes close-up photography will really appreciate it. The consistency across all lenses also means switching between them feels seamless. Regardless of whatever iPhone you use, you're always gonna get good photos no matter what. You can see here that the Pro Max does kind of shift between the lenses the most, especially from its ultra wide to wide lens. Video is excellent too. Stabilization is top tier. I recorded a bunch of vlogs and travel clips over the years straight off this phone with no problem. ProRes and log recording is on here too, which is a huge thumbs up if you're into video editing and color grading for you content creating nerds. Honestly, don't do it that much because I got my own camera here. But if I ever need to get some quick clips or something for the channel, sometimes you'll see me use all the other phones in the channel, like the Samsungs and iPhones, to record 4K clips, and I'll just have it shoot on auto. Honestly, this camera system feels really future-proof, and in years' time from now, I think you won't be really missing out on much. But yeah, everything about this phone is just really balanced. I think that's gonna be like the title of this video, just balanced hardware, balanced performance, balanced battery life, balanced software, just balanced everything. And if you can get a good deal on this used, refurbished or something, I think it's probably one of the better buys compared to something maybe like a 16. And I also don't want to forget about Apple's software support. I mean, they usually push around 5 years of updates, and even the iPhone 11, which came back out in 2019, got the iOS 26 update, which this is like a 6-year-old phone or something by now. I think the 15 Pro Max will definitely have a lot of life left in it. If any of you guys are still on this, let me know if you're gonna upgrade to anything else. Do you want to keep this phone still? Do you think that it's gonna get overshadowed by the newer iPhones or Samsung devices out there? And do you think this will look old or antique by some people in the future? Oh, and the last thing I guess I want to talk about is like Apple Intelligence. I really don't use it that much other than some of the writing tools, which I'll use to text to help clean up some of my messages or emails. That and visual intelligence, which is basically like Google Lens. But until then, I've been using a lot of like ChatGPTs and Google Gemini software for research and searching up images. Samsung's Circle to Search is by far one of my favorite AI features that came out in the last few years. But yeah, that's all I got for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave the comments down below since I want to hear what you guys are talking about. I got a lot more videos coming out later this year. I think for this channel, I want to focus more on like tech lifestyle review and content. Let me know if you guys want to see some more of that, or what other products, phones, tech, speakers, laptops, and all of that I should review. Also, give me a follow on Instagram too if you want to hear from me directly. I post a lot of good stuff on there too, and if you want to get in touch with me, just DM me on there too. But yeah, if you guys have any questions and all that, you know the deal. Just ask away. Until then, it's Rich Me, signing off. Peace.